Are you?
Thank you, and welcome to the inaugural year of the Women of Our Community Award and ATHENA Leadership Award program. For those of you who may not know me, I'm Kelly Cole Wagner, publisher and co-owner of the Medina County Women's Journal. We're honored to present this evening to you, and you are now part of history in the Medina County. I would like to thank all of the honorees for graciously accepting their nomination for the ATHENA Award. We are excited to recognize and honor you with an award of the women of our community, as you truly make our community a better place to work and live. Congratulations to you. I would like to acknowledge Root Candles for embracing my vision and my dream. My personal thank you to Rex Mason, CEO, Brad Root, President, Heather DeRocha, Director of Retail, and Lori Marufka from Marketing. We involved their team from the roots of our program development to the hosting of our intimate nominee reception at their location. And also thank you to Westfield, Critchfield and Johnson, and Meaden and Moore, and to our community partners you will find on the back of our program. The event would not be possible without the support of these companies, sponsors, organizations that recognize and see value in highlighting our leaders. Medina County is truly fortunate to have such an amazing women mentors making a difference every day. I would also like to thank the difficult task of the ATHENA Leadership Award Recipient Selection Committee. I am so happy that was not my task. Each woman should be proud of their nomination and know that you are inspiring others around you. I would like to share how my vision of bringing ATHENA Awards to Medina County came about. In 2005, our very own publisher of Cleveland East publication, Barbara Daniels, was nominated for the ATHENA Award. It was empowering and an amazing evening. and since then, the Athena has never left my mind. Since that year on, we have sponsored the Cleveland, Akron, and the Wayne County ATHENA Award program, and I dreamed that one day Medina County would follow. The ATHENA International mission is to support, develop, and honor women leaders, and is reflective in the quote attributed to Plato. What is honored in a country will be cultivated there. This quote has resonated with me since 2005. 7 years later, with no one else acknowledging these remarkable women in Medina County, it was time. I had to do it. This signature celebration has been missing for Medina County too long. We have individuals that should be recognized for their hard work and for the hard work and the organizations they represent. I've had the privilege to meet and work with most of these honorees, and I truly are the ones that inspired and empowered me to bring this exclusive event to Medina County. So thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy your night. And I would like to introduce now Heather DeRocha, from Director of Retail of Root Candles, our platinum sponsor of the evening.
Honesty, integrity, hard work, perseverance, dedication, commitment. These are all words often used to describe Root Candles. Honesty, integrity, hard work, perseverance, dedication, commitment. Tonight, these are all words we use to describe the 2013 Women of Our Community and ATHENA Award nominees. As women in our community, our nominees demonstrate strength, courage, wisdom, and enlightenment. Tonight, we honor them for their professional excellence, their community service, and for actively mentoring other women to help them reach their full leadership potential. All of our honorees demonstrate tireless efforts to improve the lives of those around them through their commitments to both their professional and their personal lives. They are all inspiring examples to all of us. For that, on behalf of Root Candles, we salute all of our nominees this evening. Thank you. I would like to introduce Barbara Daniel, the publisher of the Cleveland Women's Journal.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this gathering tonight. We are grateful for the opportunity to celebrate the work of these extraordinary women, and we are grateful for the freedom to celebrate. Thank you for Athena, for who she is. Thank you for Root Candle, for the wonderful calming fragrance in the room. Bless those who organize this dinner and award ceremony. Bless this food we are about to receive. May it nourish our bodies and strengthen our souls. Lord, bless the hands that prepared the food and those hands that serve it. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. Well, you want to get to know someone a little better? Ask them a few questions, right? What a better way than to put these honorees on the spot. We requested all the ladies to answer a few interesting questions to help us get to know them. I have found that several common attributes among these women are that they love to read, from magazines, hopefully the Women's Journal, right? Some Kindles, I heard, but mainly some books. I guess some newspapers. I'll let the newspapers go in there. Their strong faith, their desire to give back, and their support advocates. Please feel free to start enjoying your salads while we play our Women of Our Community video. Enjoy, and dinner will follow. I know, some of you have started. That's okay. We're a little ahead of the game, I think, too, anyways. I talk too fast. So please, let's meet these women of our community and enjoy.
inspiration from the people in this county. Just this morning I was at the Economic Development Corporation meeting. Bethany Dentler, Maria Kipstol, Connie King, Sandy Fromeyer, Jandy Groza, Kimberly Rice, these were all women that were in the audience. In addition, I had a meeting with Heather Taylor and Laura Parnell today. I mean, they're just amazing people all over that can really inspire you to go above and beyond. They're so amazing at what they do that it causes you to really look at it and say, okay, how can I do more? How can I be more? How can I contribute more? Always leave people, situations better than you find them. It's something I adopted in high school, and it tends to get me into more committees than maybe I should, but it always gives me an opportunity to really contribute. People. The other question, what would you take to a deserted island, would scare me. I've got to be interacting with people, because without that, I just curl up and not know what to do. But I'm much more creative. I get to solve problems, just talking all the time.
The person that inspires me the most is my mother. Mom died a year ago, April, and she had had dementia the last 4.5 years, and she struggled with it in ways that that no human being should have to. It's just absolutely demoralizing. However, all the years before that, she had been such a role model for me, and she just set the tone for what I could do, what my daughters could do, and what they eventually went on to do, because it was the words we live by: believe as if anything is possible. I think I've gone over that with my mom, because it was all part and parcel of who she was. It wasn't just the fact that she could start her own private detective agency at the age of 60. It was the fact that she believed as if anything that she set her mind to, that she could accomplish, and I live my life by those words. Most people would not believe this of me, but with working so many hours, that my secret indulgence is making this big sandwich, lots of potato chips, tall glass of milk, and going upstairs, crawling into bed, and turning on a CD with Law and Order: Criminal Intent.
First of all, just take things slow, not to rush into things, and to really enjoy experiences. I think about my grandparents. My grandparents passed away within a month of each other when I had just gotten out of college, and of course you appreciate them when they're around, but then once you realize once they're gone how much you miss them. Second, it's taking care of your health. Not that I didn't, but I think now I realize, wow, along the way it is eating healthy, it is exercising, it is making sure you're doing the good things for your body, eliminating stress and exercising. I went through breast cancer 5 years ago, and that's what got me to the point I am now with the nonprofit that I created because of that experience. And I don't know necessarily if I could have avoided it. However, if I could have gone back to my other self back then, I would have loved to be able to say, take care of yourself. Make sure you're managing your stress. In 2005, we lost a full-term baby girl. And it was just an awful experience to have to go through. And I realized after going through and while going through that experience, you need something to fall back on. You need something to make some sense and provide some comfort in your life. And my faith in God provided that for me. And along with that, I think it was my husband and my family. They were there to help support me. I don't think a lot of people know that I'm competitive. And when I say that, a lot of the ways I am competitive is athletically. I love to run races. I've run 3 half marathons, lots of 5Ks, and 1 10K. And what I think provides the joy from that competitive experience is the ability for me, especially having gone through cancer, now to turn my body into something positive. I've realized that being competitive pushes me a little bit. So when I push myself athletically, I've noticed it trickle into other areas of my life.
I was going to college, so I decided I would be a teacher. So I have a degree in education, and once I got into education, decided I liked counseling. So I moved then and got another degree in counseling, and then ended up as an administrator. I'm an English teacher who has branched out into other things, and I'm now the marketing director for Gersbacher Real Estate, and I love it. Well, I just finished reading Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. She's the Chief Operating Officer for Facebook, and I think every young woman who's going out into any career needs to read this book. It's a well-written book, really good down-to-earth advice for young women who want leadership positions and what they should do, how to stay on the path to achieve their goals. The written word. I am a reader. I would be lost if I didn't have my newspapers and my Kindle and my books, and so if they took all those things away, I'm not sure what I'd do. But I really appreciate the written word and how a well-written novel or a poem can inspire people.
I chose the career I'm in. I've always had a passion for art, and I love to be creative. And from a young age, I knew I wanted to find a career that would be helping people. And so the beauty industry helped me combine my passion for art and taking care of people. Helping people have confidence from looking their best is probably the best part of my job. I get to do what I love every day with people I love, for people I love, so it's a great career. So advice for emerging leaders: even if you're not in a leadership position right now, you got to be the best that you can be in that position, whatever that position is. So you give it 100%. You get to be known as that person who gets it done. You come up with solutions, and you encourage the people around you. If you help other people get what they want, that's going to help you get what you want. Okay, so I have a secret indulgence, but it's not much of a secret to my family, but I love homemade chocolate chip cookies right out of the oven. That's my indulgence, warm, with a big glass of cold milk, and my family thinks I'm doing it just for them. But it really is. I mean, warm chocolate chip cookies have got to be it for me.
What had happened was I luckily was offered an internship at the Medina County Health Department as a health educator. So I did that for 5 years, and then Hospice of Medina County offered me a job in public relations, and then a year and a half ago the job opened at the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce, and it just so happened my daughter and her husband lives there, and they told me that they were going to have a baby. So I wanted to get in the Wadsworth area, and when I heard that job was open and they asked me to apply, I thought, I'm going to get that job. There's really two sets of kind of similar, kind of different things, and one is a scripture. It's from Acts 3, verses 5 through 6, and it's trust in the Lord with all your heart and rely not on your own understanding, and in all ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. And then the other thing that I live by is commitment. I just feel that without commitment, you just have so little in your relationships. Relationships are ever so important to me. I couldn't live without books. I love to read over watching television. I love to be able to use my imagination to think what people look like, and I like to think about them, and sometimes I am really sad when a book ends. You know what I mean? I feel like I became friends with the people in there, and it's like I gotta say goodbye.
In our home, we have this whole wall. It's called our hero wall. And I have photos there of leaders who inspire us. So I have like Stanley Tam, he's the founder of the U.S. Plastics Corporation. Kathleen Price, she's the founder and really the fire behind the Mission of Love. And then more well-known leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Abe Lincoln, Martin Luther King. But in the center of it all is the leader that really changed the definition and model for leadership, and that's Jesus Christ. And the model that Jesus gave was that of service and sacrifice. I would tell them to learn the 7 virtues: faith, hope, love, prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance. And by becoming those virtues, you really get in alignment with God and with the community, with your family, your employees, your clients. By really self-mastery of those virtues, you can find true love and happiness and self-expression. Oh, definitely my hot tub. So my husband and I will sneak out there late at night or really early in the morning when the world is just waking up and the birds are starting to chirp, and we just sit and relax and spend time with each other. It's totally self-indulgent and we love it.
I would tell them it's 2013 and you can do absolutely anything and be anything that you want. I also would emphasize that, our brain is so powerful that it's very important that you make sure you know what's going into your mind. So be careful what you read, what you listen to, what you think about, even who you associate with, because the truth is that what goes into your mind eventually does come out in your life. And so negative in, negative out, you can't afford any kind of negativity. I also would tell them that, the 3-legged stool story that I was told one day, and that's life is like a 3-legged stool. You have the 3 legs have to be very strong in order to hold the weight of everything that comes down. And in life, those 3 legs are your spirituality and your physical health and your mental health. I use prayer to center myself, and I use meditation. I use a gratitude journal, and that helps me focus on what I'm grateful for instead of everything that isn't going my way at the time. I could not live without my faith. Absolutely hands down faith. I have to, and I do, rely on it daily.
The women in my life, throughout my life, have inspired me. Starting with my mother, my grandmother, my great aunts, my 2 daughters, and beyond that, all the women in the community. The people that volunteer, the people that raise money, the people that direct nonprofits. Day in and day out, I'm reading the newspaper and I see different names of people and they're doing amazing things. And I'm inspired by that. And then on the broader scale, people like Regina Brett, who write articles in the Cleveland Plain Dealer, and she impacts so many organizations and groups just by her written word. All the women that I read about and know inspire me. I would tell myself, don't listen to other people and do what you want to do. Don't do what you think society wants you to do. Be your own person. Find some things that you love and learn about them, excel in them, and then find some more and learn about them and excel in them. I could not live without books. My fondest memories are as a young child riding my bike to Lakewood Public Library and sitting on the floor, smelling the books, reading the books, picking the books, bringing them home. They offer me a transport to another world, knowledge that I never thought I could imagine to have. It opens you up to new experiences, opens your mind. I couldn't live without reading.
Somebody told me it's like eating an elephant, and what you do is you just break it down and you just, look at your problem and just eat the elephant one bite at a time. And generally that seems to keep me focused and keep me moving along on the right track. Just remember that you don't do it alone, and that you need to have a good support group around you, and that it's okay to ask for help. You're not alone. You need a support group, and if you don't know the answer, don't pretend that you do. Let the person know, I don't know the answer, but I will get it for you. And that gives you a much more credibility than trying to fake your way through it.
I'm blessed to have two fabulous role models, and those are my parents. And but life wasn't always easy growing up. They only had a 6th and an 8th grade education, and so we lived in a modest home. There were 4 children, and when I was 12, my father passed away. He was only 52. So my mother was widowed at 45. And so we learned then how to work hard, because she just pulled things together and made things happen for our family. It was important for me then to give back and to serve, to get out of myself. And so that's when I started volunteering. So at 39, and now I'm 53, for all these years I've been volunteering. I'm on several event teams and have been trying to give back. And so it's working hard, my faith, in giving back that helped me get through this. First of all, you cannot do it alone. I think as you start off your career as a woman, you sometimes think it's a weakness to ask for help or to work on a team to accomplish a goal. But that is just not true. Really, we're so much stronger when we work together. Being on several event teams and being a board member, I see us accomplish so many fabulous things because we come together as women or a team to accomplish those goals. But what they don't know about us is we're so very simple. Things like a cup of coffee makes me very happy, having ice cream with my family. I like to do very simple things, and that refreshes me, and that just allows me to relax. In fact, one of my secret indulgences is to watch old sitcoms. So my husband and I, when we're out of the public and not doing so many things, we're watching things like Hazel and Leave It to Beaver and Mary Tyler Moore, and that, we love it.
What a great dinner. Thank you, Mark and Williams on the Lake. Enjoyed. They even were great with us being a little ahead of schedule, and Mark performed and got it out for us. Great. Please feel free to enjoy your dessert that's provided on your table, or feel free to take it with you. It's from Delish Bake Shop. Now I'd like to introduce Tara Tara Haley, my associate publisher from the Medina County Women's Journal. She has been my right-hand girl from the time that she has been with us, and I could not have done this event without her. I've had a 2-month-old baby 2 months ago, and she was very intricate in helping me get this done. So without her, none of this would have been possible. So thank you, Tara.
Thank you, Kelly, for sharing your vision and making tonight a reality. It's amazing. I'm so honored to be part of this signature celebration this evening. I have goosebumps right now. I've had the privilege to meet and work with this group of amazing women. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2013 Women of Our Community Award recipients. After I announce your name, please join me on stage to receive your award. First, I'd like to introduce Kathy Breitenbutcher. Kathy is the managing partner of the Pedestal Group. She excels in both marketing and technology in the social media world. Kathy's dedication, talent, and leadership skills have been demonstrated in her involvement in many local organizations. Congratulations, Kathy. Sandy Calvert. Sandy is the Executive Director of Feeding Medina County. She's created awareness in the county regarding hunger issues. Sandy has spent her entire career finding and funding for resources to help people in need in Medina County. Congratulations, Sandy. Ruth Crane. Ruth is the founder of Ears to You, a nonprofit organization providing hope and joy through the donation of earrings to young girls and women of all ages with cancer. Congratulations, Ruth. Barbara DeZor. Barbara is the marketing director of the Gershbacher Real Estate Group. Her lifelong involvement in Medina County has ranged from educational services to county administration and management. Congratulations, Barbara. Dolly Hanrick. Dolly is the owner of Legacy Hair Salon Studios. She's based her business on 3 principles: education, customer service, and giving back. Dolly supports many fundraising events, and with her giving spirit, she fosters helping others. Congratulations, Dolly. Janie Parrish. Janie is the executive director of the Wadsworth Chamber of Commerce. Janie, you're walking too fast. She's established educational initiatives in 2012. The Chamber has awarded 9 scholarships to local students. Congratulations, Janie. Andrea Reedy. Andrea is the president of The Place. She was instrumental in transforming the business from an outdoor power equipment dealer into a leisure product store. Her energy and dedication has spilled over to servicing the public and charitable organizations in Medina County. Congratulations, Andrea. Susan Somerville. Susan is the founder of the Bloom Society and co-founder of Project Ed Bear. Her leadership in our community extends from being an active board member to numerous local community and women's organizations. Her vision in helping one woman at a time has created scholarship programs, art programs, and teaching. Congratulations, Susan. Marita Talsiak. Marita is the founding mother of 100+ Women Who Care Medina. Through her tireless commitment to improving the lives of those less fortunate, she has dedicated her efforts and time to making the community a better community of reality. Congratulations, Marita. Kathy Warner. Kathy is the head of Warner Communications and is the vice president-elect for the Children's Center of Medina. Kathy is also very involved and committed to coordinating numerous fundraising events. Her passion is helping the community and the businesses of Medina County. Congratulations, Kathy. Deborah Wasilko. Deborah is the owner and founder of Baskets Galore. She's a highly sought-after speaker and instructor. Deborah demonstrates her generous give-back philosophy by providing free consultations to other business owners to strengthen their brand. She volunteers her time at local middle schools and many local organizations. Congratulations, Deborah. Bonnie Gladys Schmidt. Bonnie is the co-owner of the Smith & Schmidt Agency and is co-founder of Working Women Connection. Working Women Connection has grown to be a networking organization for over 100 women in Northeast Ohio. Bonnie's used to wearing many hats, from teaching workshops to Dress for Success, volunteering, and being a mom of 2 boys. Congratulations, Bonnie. Wow, what an inspiring, amazing group of women. Let's give them a round of applause. Absolutely. Thank you for inspiring all of us. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Norma Rist. We are honored to have her here for the inaugural year to share with us about Athena. Norma is a 2003 Athena Leadership Award recipient. She's also the past director emeritus. Norma is president of Norma J. Rist CEO Consulting and is a published author and speaker. Please welcome Norma Rist.
Good evening, how are you? I'm delighted to be here this evening. There's nothing more fun than to visit other cities when they're having either an award event or the Leadership Day lunch event, both of which are Athena-sponsored activities. And I can tell you that traveling around when I could and visiting other cities when they were having their events, everyone is so different, so unique, and so wonderful. So congratulations to you on your inaugural event. So on behalf of Athena International and the staff that is in Chicago, and the Athena board members from around the world, we're so pleased that you're offering this first annual Athena International Leadership Award Program, which is our flagship program. Athena International has celebrated more than 30 years of award programs. So 30 years in advancing women's leadership through these award programs in 250 to 300 cities each year, more than 6,000 recipients during that period of time in the US, Canada, plus England, Scotland, China, India, and now we have some interest from United Arab Emirates and from South Africa. Women's leadership. Women are strong leaders. We know that. History tells us that. So why do we need a leadership program specifically for women? Martha Mertz was the founder of Athena International. She started this program in Lansing, Michigan. So that's Midwest, right? It's just like us. She was invited to serve on the Chamber of Commerce, and as she served on that board and attended a couple of months, there weren't any other women. And she said to some of the other chamber members, board members, you should add some women to your board. And they said, well, we would, but we can't find any. Well, that was pretty much it for Martha. She founded this award program to honor women leaders in their community as role models so that other women could find them, could follow them, but also it was a way to help them be found, because that way they could be invited to serve on boards or councils. They could have access to networks which would help them in their own endeavors, whether it's a career or business ownership. It gave them access to behind the rooms where you're serving on a board and you get to meet people you wouldn't maybe otherwise. So that was Martha's thought in starting this. And by the way, it was so much fun to travel with Martha one year when we went to the UK, and in Rotherham, England, they had their 3rd or 4th award. And so my goodness, in Rotherham, the mayor is a dignitary and officiates at events. There's a council that runs the city, but the mayor's role, and you can see all the mayors in the mayor's office, or in the hallway actually, with all the mayors going back 100 years in their long garb and long, I don't know what you call those things, but they look expensive, like big gold things that are, the trappings of the mayor, right? So I got to learn a lot of interesting things, and because I was there with Martha and some other board members, they really took time to introduce us to key people in their city, and then we went to their event. So if you want to talk about an unusual event, okay, this one was in a converted steel mill, because Rotherham's like Youngstown. They had a lot of steel. And that's how they found out about Athena. They came to Youngstown to find out what they were doing with the loss of steel in their city. And Youngstown has had this award event for about 27 years. And they picked up a brochure about Athena. That's how it happened to get transported to Rotherham. So here we are in a converted steel mill, and everything inside is painted black. And it's, 100 times bigger than this room. And then there's a big black velvet drape all the way, curtain through the middle. So on one side, they had 450 people having cocktails, right? And then when the time came, they drew back that big velvet drape, and the 450 people went on the other side where they were going to have their dinner. And it was arranged around a ballroom floor. And because the 2003 recipient had a dance academy, and she teaches her young dancers to go to London to perform, and in New York City and on cruise ships, they become professionals. And so there they were dancing for us in Rockette costumes. So I've seen a lot of interesting Athena events, and I recommend that if you have a chance to go to someone in another city or something close by to where you live, please do, because they're all unique and they're all wonderful. So that was my story. So Athena offers other programs. Athena PowerLink, which is a program offering a unique board of advisors for a woman owner for 1 year. The new Athena Young Professional Award, which is now available to all the existing award cities. And our leadership conference held regionally around the country, where you can hear and meet with leaders such as Marie Wilson, Pat Schroeder, Gloria Steinem, Frances Hesselbein, if you know some of those names, the CEO of Pampered Chef, the CEO of Girl Scouts, and one of my favorites, Dr. Anange Luwanika, who is the U.S. ambassador from Zambia. And she received a global award, and she came back the second year. She was in Washington, D.C., and she came back when we were having a conference in Chicago, and was willing to be on a panel regarding global development. And so, part of being a leader is that you just reach out even though you don't know how you're going to do it. I mean, you've all done it sometimes, and you think, well, oh, that worked out. I think I'll do that again, and then you pull back, right? Okay, that's me. I'm out there, and then I pull back, and then I think, oh, I got to get out there more. Out there, I'm going to do something, and then I'm back again. Anyway, so I was on the board, and I called and said to the staff person prior to this conference, I said, we're having an ambassador as a guest. I think that foreign dignitaries are not usually walking around the hotel by themselves trying to find the right room, right? I mean, wouldn't you think someone who's an ambassador from another country, that normally someone would show them here's the room we're going to be in. Do you need anything? Your room is on the 4th floor, something. So I said, if no one wants to host her, I'll be glad to meet her. And if she wants, I'll arrange for her to meet with some key women in Chicago the next day. Do I know any key women in Chicago? No. I'm from Akron, right? I thought, I can't believe you said that, Norma. I mean, what are you going to do? Who are you going to call? But if you have phone numbers and you have phone numbers of some woman somewhere that you can call and say, okay, I volunteered to do this and I don't know where to start. Can you give me the name of someone who's done anything like this before? And I thought, well, I'll call a few people and somebody will connect me with some women leaders in Chicago. And if you get one, you can get some more. And so that was me stepping out, right? Okay. So I get there and I'm going to meet her at registration. Okay, so I'm still the fearful one because I had volunteered and they said no, she couldn't stay over. Well, I thought that also meant that she didn't need anybody to help her. But when I checked in, they gave me a little note with her cell phone number. I thought, oh, criminy, I have her cell phone number. And I was to call her while she was in the taxi cab between the airport and the hotel, and then I could meet her at registration. Well, I wasn't sure I'd recognize her. She was in the most incredible gold costume when she received her global award from Zambia, right? I thought, what if she has on a suit? She came from Washington, D.C., and I don't recognize her. This is not going to be good. And then you got to pronounce her name right. So these are all things that, you sort of stick your neck out a little bit. But I'm always glad when I did, because after it's over, it's so wonderful. So I met her. Sure enough, I recognized her. I greeted her. I waited for her to register. I walked her over to the elevator. I said, well, why don't I show you where the floor is, where you're going to get off the elevator, where the major dinner event will be in the evening. And then you can go to your room and freshen up if that's what you'd like. And then I'll meet you back outside the elevator, and we set a time. That was fine, and it was delightful. So she went to rest for a little bit, and I met her outside the elevator. We stood in the doorway to the ballroom for half an hour talking. Did you ever get to talk to an ambassador from another country? I didn't. Can you believe that? So I take her in, and I don't even know where the right table's going to be, but it's Martha's table. It's got to be the one closest to the podium, right? It's got to be the key table. So I take her up, and I get her seated at Martha's table, and I told her I enjoyed very much talking with her. And I go back to my table, where there are 7 Northeast Ohio women leaders who have joined me at this conference. And it's not 5 minutes, and the woman who's planning the program comes over to me, and she said, Norma, the seat next to Dr. Lewinicka is empty. Do you want to come and sit with her? Are you kidding me? I said, okay, ladies, I'm leaving. I'll talk to you later. And I got to sit with her for dinner, and I got to learn about her country and what she was going to do for women in her country. I got to learn that they don't have a term as ambassador, but she said she would be finishing up within the next year, that she had done all that she thought she could do. And I got to listen and talk with things about women across the world instead of my little part of the Midwest, right? So anyway, it's amazing. So I recommend you go to other places and, like me, stick your neck out there a little bit once in a while. So back to Athena. Okay. So I want to tell you just 1 minute worth about Athena. This international organization was founded with a mission statement to honor, develop, and support women leaders, inspiring women to achieve their full potential, something I've been about for a long time, creating balance in leadership worldwide. My mother was not allowed to go to college. Her father told her no. And my grandmother wasn't allowed to drive. Her husband said no. And so I'm, at the core of me, pretty much about women living to their full potential and having a good life where they can help other people and enjoy their own lives, enjoy their families, enjoy their communities. So women in leadership. So, this leadership thing, we talk about it all the time. We read about it in the newspaper all the time. So if we're hearing so much about business leaders, we hear about political leaders. So I started doing some research a couple years, or 5 or 8 years ago when I was, came on the board. And so I put together some pieces of that for you tonight. So here's the beginning of it. Henry Kissinger, when he was U.S. Secretary of State, explained in an interview that what a national leader has to do is to take his society and sometimes the world from where it is to where it has never been, and that means he can't prove that the destination is even desirable until the society or the world gets there. Good grief. I mean, I can't even hardly read that sentence, let alone picture me being involved in something that amazing. So we see these leaders in the newspaper, on television, speaking at conferences, winning awards. But it's really hard to imagine that we, every one of us, fit personally into those categories, that we could ever be like that, what we're seeing that comes across the television into our living rooms or comes on the front page of the whatever you read daily or the whatever you look at online. So let's talk about just that for a second. If there's one thing that I know about women, it's that they're mostly a little modest, and they tend to shy away from saying, I am a leader. You just don't hear them say it. And so, how's that going to work out? Because we're all holding back, right? So at these national and international leaders, we don't see ourselves in that picture. So this is a challenge. Often when an Athena recipient is chosen and they come to the podium for just a few words, they say, I am humbled to be here, and I am not sure that I belong here with these wonderful women leaders. I mean, it's to that extent. I've heard that from a global recipient. So let's go back to you and me and our community and the leadership that's needed right here, right now. So first, I believe that leadership is a responsibility for everyone. It's for women, it's for men, it's for children, it's for organizations, it's for communities. Leadership needs to be a part of your life. Secondly, everyone can learn to be a leader in some situation or on some level. You can be proactive in shaping the future, your future, and the future of others. And there's so many opportunities to make a difference. There's room for everyone. Third, more than ever, we need our leaders to be of all ages, all backgrounds, all types of life experiences. That means you. That means everyone. So there's one characteristic of leadership that I really believe in, so I have to share this with you. Walter Lippmann, who's a newspaper commentator, defined leaders as the custodians of a nation's ideals, the beliefs it cherishes, of its permanent hopes, of the faith which makes a nation out of a mere aggregation of individuals. And he said, I believe that a custodian or a caretaker is not motivated out of self-interest. They're not focused on what they personally may gain. Leaders are looking out for the best interest of others. So you can develop leadership skills and help to look out for the best interest of others. So here's 6 specific competencies of leadership. I did a lot of work on competencies which you can develop, you can work on. Now there's some attributes of leadership, and they're on many of the materials that are put out by Athena, and they're needed. We believe that many of them are attributes that are really important for leadership in the 21st century. But if you're looking at competencies, so here's 6 of them, and I will do them rather quickly because I just want to give you an idea of this. So one of the competencies is in-depth problem solving and analysis. People who are competent at that are capable of generating good solutions to difficult problems. They consider many sources of information, they process, evaluate, deliberate before they come to a final decision. So are you good at problem solving? Some of you are. I know that. Town hall meetings deal with complex issues in most communities. They need your help. They need your leadership. There's a place for these competencies. Leading change. People who display this competency actively lead change efforts through their words as well as their actions. They accept change openly and willingly. They anticipate the need for change, assume personal responsibility to see that the necessary change is adopted and implemented. Are you good at leading change? We see organizations all over our community that need people to lead change. From school programs to associations, social service groups, they're all changing to keep up with new things, from technology to diverse cultures to busy schedules. They need your help. They need your leadership. Lifelong learning. Oh, you'll like this one. People who display this competency strive to expand their knowledge. They inspire others to develop new skills and to grow. Do you love learning? How many people did we say want to read, right? Yes, and that's what Barbara and I ended up talking about practically the whole dinner, is reading and learning. So you love learning. Consider hosting a foreign exchange student or becoming a big sister or brother. Volunteer at Project Learn and help an adult learn to read. They need your help, your leadership. Collaboration. Women like collaboration a lot. I have a whole nother speech on how that happened. People who display this competency work effectively with others toward a common goal. They listen to, value the input of others, and they commit to supporting the larger group effort. If you're good at collaborating, your chamber, your township, your city, your village, they really need good committee members who like to get to work together to accomplish a common goal. They need your help. They need your leadership. Influencing others. Some people are really good at influencing others, and so there's a key need for that, particularly if there's an issue on the ballot and it needs to be explained to a lot of people and you understand it and you're good at influencing, maybe that's a good fit for you. They need your help. Coaching and mentoring, there's so much of that needed now. People who are good at mentoring have really valuable knowledge and experience that's worth sharing. They have a sincere interest in the development and success of others. You know, I like to connect people. And so I'm always looking for where's the person who's the young person that I get to talk to, that I can connect with someone that they need to get to know. I'm simply older. I know more people. And I can make it so easy to just connect them. So I brought a freshman University of Akron chemical engineering woman with a sophomore University of Akron chemical engineering major woman with a young mentee of mine who is a 30-year-old woman engineer at Timken. And I got them all together for coffee right after school started. And I just sat there. I'm not an engineer, but I sure did like watching the two young women who didn't know each other be able to have the opportunity of talking with the 30-year-old woman who had, 9 years of experience beyond theirs out of school, things they never dreamed of thinking about. She was able to tell them about. You can do that. Connect people. So coaching and mentoring, these people regularly provide others with helpful guidance or advice. If you're good at mentoring, there's so many opportunities for you to do that in your workplace, or in my case, I do it with one young woman, and therefore I invited a couple of other young women, in your neighborhood, in your churches, in your schools. There's so much need. They need your help. They need your leadership. So, in closing, you can see from this list of 6 competencies of leadership that everyone in this room can use their own strengths to be a leader in their own way. And there's many more. I was just giving you some examples. So I'm hoping that many of the women in this room tonight are thinking, well, I could do one of those things, even though I can't be that, whoever that person is on the evening news. And that maybe you've moved your thinking from, I can't be a leader like the ones in the press or the ones winning awards, but I could do one of those things that Norma was talking about. So I have some strengths, and I could use them to look out for the best interests of others. So I leave you with the following steps. Choose a way to contribute. Help to make a difference. Make leadership a part of your life. And thank you for inviting me to be with you tonight. As many of you know who had anything to do with nominating someone for this evening's awards and to honor all the women who were nominated, who came up and that we got to see on the incredible videos, the forms for the nomination that you fill out for that ATHENA award demonstrate that they were going above and beyond in their own profession. They exemplified leadership in their own profession. Also in their community, that they had done things in their community that they loved doing and that they had done well and that the community really benefited from. And then thirdly, that they had helped other women to develop their leadership potential. So remembering that, those are the 3 things that we're honoring these women for, because they've been role models for us in all 3 areas, and we honor all of them. One woman who will be the recipient tonight, the Medina ATHENA International Women's Leadership Award recipient, is Barbara Desir. You're welcome.
I have to set that down because when we had our reception back in June, they let us lift that and feel that, and it literally weighs a ton. Okay, so I'm not allowed to say that I'm humbled. Well, I'm not sure about that. I'm certainly honored to be nominated for a Woman of the Community to begin with, and I congratulate all my fellow nominees for all their amazing accomplishments. I do, right up front, I do want to say that I am totally responsible for Janie Parrish's success. I was her high school guidance counselor. There are a number of thank yous that I need to make. First, Kelly, thank you, and Women's Journal for taking the initiative to bring this to Medina County. Thank you to the sponsors, each of you, for stepping forward and making the evening possible. Thank you to my nominating committee. If you haven't met them, you've heard them at least. Kathy DeLoss, Dr. Mary Halkovich, Karen Hammond, Lenora Morris, Karen Troxel, Cindy Schneider, Sharon Danko. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and I think some collusion from this table over here, Jody Robbins and Maria Kipstool. Yeah. When you choose to take a leadership role, you never do it alone. You've heard that this evening. And so there are lots of people that you count on that help you along the way. And I certainly want to thank them. My sister, we come from a family where serving in the community and taking a leadership role was very important, so I think Mom and Dad would be proud. For those of you who have not met my sister, Roberta Gifford, she had to retire so she could fit in all of her volunteering in her schedule. I also have a work family that's been very supportive, and I'd like to introduce them. My boss, Troy Gersbacher. I did promise Troy that there was a swimsuit competition with this and that I would be doing my baton routine. So I'm sorry to disappoint you. And thank you to Heather, his wife, for being here. And my co-workers, Jim Gersbacher, Randy Earhart, and Randy's wife, Kathy, thank you for coming. They're the people, all of these people, that make what I do easier. They're always there to sell tickets. Sharon Danko is the best ticket salesperson in the world. To be a sponsor, to work on a committee, and then my work family that gives me the time off when I need it to be involved in the organizations that I'm in. You heard in my, if you were listening a little bit to the video, you heard that when I started college or decided to go to college, I had the choice of being a teacher or a nurse. And some of you who are from my age bracket will remember that. The nice thing about going to college then, though, was that it was great husband hunting ground. Because women were a minority, so there was one good thing about it. But now it's better. Now more women graduate from college than men, and there is really no limit to what women can do. And that has been a change that I have watched and welcomed. Now women are some of our most prominent leaders, innovators, and nurturers. And I think you will see more of that. If you look around this room, you can see that any woman in the room can demonstrate the Athena traits: strength, courage, wisdom, and enlightenment. I did read, Norma, that Athena was also known for mathematics, and I fall very short on that. So, keeping in mind the strength, courage, wisdom, and enlightenment, that means that any woman anywhere can be an Athena. Thank you.
I would like to personally congratulate our first and Athena Leadership Award recipient, Barbara Deser. You are truly an inspiration. Thank you for Root Candles for providing our beautiful centerpieces, and don't forget to take your very glass candle, also from Root. Thank you for attending and fulfilling my dream. This concludes our program. Thank you.